Welcome, friends, to our Friday's practice titled Yoga for Stress Reduction. In this mindful yoga practice, we learn to breathe, move, so we can feel better. So for this month, we are learning a little bit about the earth element in traditional Chinese medicine. Right, so to keep it simple, the earth element is supportive and nurturing to all of the other elements. It stabilizes and holds the center. And when you really think about that, it's no surprise that Earth has a tendency to worry, right? Because it's got this whole picture to take care of. It has a tendency to worry and also to be mentally distracted. So when Earth is in balance, we have a steady center and we can kind of cope with whatever life is rolling towards us. We're able to hold steady through that experience. Let's see, where do I want to start? Oh, I'm just going to drop right into the title. I've nicknamed this class Earth Is. So think Earth is supportive, nurturing, stabilizing, maybe even accepting and receptive. Okay, friends, welcome to class. I'm going to meet you on the mat. So let's start in a comfortable seat today. And then we're going to use that chin mudra, that OK sign. So you place your thumb and your index fingers together and just allow your hands to be palms down. Okay, so this is where it starts, with simply being aware with what's here. All right, just notice your breath. Connect up with your energy. And then briefly scan your physical body. Just becoming aware of areas of spaciousness and openness. Maybe areas of a little tension and tightness. Okay, bringing ourselves into the present moment. Draw your elbows in towards your sides and then palms up by your sides. So if you like the chin mudra, I happen to like that mudra of wisdom. You can keep that, or just simply open your palms towards the ceiling. And then let's have a little bit of side bending, where you drop your left ear, left shoulder down, and then take it over to the other side. All right, so don't worry about your breathing pattern. All right, just allow yourself to breathe. All right, so Earth rules the muscles. And we're going to extend that care to the joints and bones. And so feel this as a relaxed side bend. Maybe it's even smaller, so you're not straining your muscles. Okay, now let's come into center. Feel your spine lengthen up, and then ease the twist over to the right. Let it be a tiny twist, so not trying to push, just a little tiny twist here. And let's become conscious of our breath, right? Feel yourself breathe into your body, expand. Right, and feel yourself breathe out as your center contracts. Okay, one more like that. Ease ease back into the center. And then let's set up the twist on the other side. Right, just remembering to move in slowly. And then come back into that present moment breathing. Right? Notice the inhale and exhale. Okay, now let's release out of this twist and bring the body close to the earth, moving into that constructive rest where knees are bent, body is down. And so maybe you put a little bit of support at the back of the head. Just allow yourself to settle. Now let's begin integrating our nervous system with that alternate nostril breathing. We're going to take a variation. Close down your right nostril and then breathe in and out through your left nostril. Be curious and explore the depths of your breath. All right, so just slow it down, pay attention. And feel the depths of your breath as you inhale. And then let the exhale simply be a relaxed release. Switch nostrils and then breathe in and out through your right nostril. Right? Encourage yourself to see how far the inhale will go without struggling. Light, slow, smooth. Then release that breathing pattern. Relax your arm down by your side. So the earth is receptive and accepting to whatever is here now. So let's turn our attention now to the lower body. Slide the right leg out. I call this heel drag. And then drag that right heel back in. Okay, do that a couple of times. Remember, we're extending to joint care. So this is basically ankle, knee, and hip. Okay, the next time it comes back in, do 3 or 4 on the other side. Just be curious. Right, you might start to notice a gentle tug in your abdomen area. Right, so those muscles above your hip engaging to move the leg. Okay, and the next time that left leg goes out, just pause there. We're going to give the hip joint a little bit of care here, but let's go really slow. We all have different issues going on in the hip. Drop your right knee out to the side to about 1 o'clock. So just let it drop out to whatever you perceive 1 o'clock. Maybe you can start to feel the weight go to the outer edge of your foot. And then roll your knee back into 12 o'clock. Okay, don't worry about your breathing. Now let's drop it out towards 2 o'clock. Right, so roll it out to about 2 o'clock. Just pause there. And then draw back to the center. Okay, now let's explore what's in between 2 and 3 o'clock. So roll it out to 2, pause there. See if there's a little more drop, no need to push. And then notice how the body is starting to shift over to that side, just let it happen. And now slide the side of your foot all the way down to the bottom of the mat until your leg drops back into neutral. Okay, let's start to smooth that movement out. Find a comfortable place with your hands that you feel supported. Drag your heel in. Drop it to the side, maybe 2 o'clock, maybe a little bit further. When it feels right for you, slide the side of your foot all the way down. Leg returns back into neutral. Okay, now that you know what the pattern is, come through a few times, just allow yourself to breathe. Right, maybe come through maybe 3 or 4 rounds. You might start to notice that the muscles around the hip are softening, and maybe your knee will drop naturally further out to the side. Okay, let that be good enough. Slide both heels in toward the pelvis, and then ease the body into a bridge pose by lifting the pelvis straight up, sliding your knees forward, and then let's drop into our legs a little bit. Maybe lightly engage your gluteal muscles. And as you do that, you might start to feel the center of your body stabilize. So one of the ways we use the body to help balance that mental distraction is we drop into our legs and into the center of our body. Right? Just be curious. Okay, earth moves slowly. Let your pelvis come down. Pause there. Take a breath into your body. Okay, let's explore on the other side. So drop your right foot down to the bottom of the mat. And we're going to slow it down again. Just be curious. Drop that left knee out to 11 o'clock. Right, notice where you feel it. And then back into the center. Okay, drop it out to about 10 o'clock. Right, notice how pelvis is tilting a little bit. You want that, let that happen. Come back to the center. Okay, and then look for 10:30, right? Draw that knee out to the side. As soon as you feel it go to the outer edge of your foot, Pause there and then slide that foot down to the bottom of the mat and then let the bones drop back into neutral. Okay, so you have the movement. Let's put it together maybe 4 or 5 rounds. All right, dropping into the least amount of effort. All right, trying to release the gripping in the muscles around the hip joint. Okay, take the last round. Okay, then once you've completed, just pause there. Feel the whole of your body. And then once again, let's return to that bridge pose. Drop your attention to the bottoms of your feet and feel the bottoms of your feet on the earth. Right, knees shifting forward. And then lightly engage your gluteal muscles. All right, so think earth rules the muscles. And let your attention drop into that subtle place or that supple place. Whereas you're gauging the back of the body, notice what's happening at the front of the body and at your core. Okay, now ease the pelvis down. Pause in that constructive rest. Let's take a full breath into your body. Using that breath to anchor into the present moment and just allowing whatever is here, right? Earth is accepting and receptive, doesn't try to make it any different. It just helps nurture and support. Okay, interlace your hands, place them behind your head. Let's strengthen the center so Earth can hold the center. Take a breath into your body. Okay, when you're ready to exhale, start to tone your abdominals and lift your head and your shoulders just barely off of the earth. Gazes towards the ceiling. Just continue to breathe lightly. We're going to linger here, feeling the strength of your center. And then just notice, is your center actually doing the work? Do you feel tension in your legs, right? In your hamstrings or in your neck? See if you can release those recruiting muscles and see if you can just stay in the center. Okay, now let's release down. Have the strap close by if you choose to use that, but let's start with a little bit of care for the hip joint. Draw your right knee into your body, your hip and your low back. Start to circle that knee. So as we release the tension from the body, it releases the tension from the mind. And most of our stress comes from tension in the mind. Okay, let's ease into the center. Grab a hold of the strap if you like the strap. And then let's send the right leg straight up towards the ceiling. Okay, so take a couple of breaths here, right, pressing your heel up towards the ceiling. And as you press your heel up towards the ceiling, notice what happens at the core, right? It'll lightly engage to support you. Okay, now let's release a little more tension from the hamstrings. Drop the left knee out to the side, so it's going to be a half butterfly leg, right? Maybe it goes to about 10 o'clock, doesn't have to go very far. And then turn your toes on the right leg out to the right, right? So turn the toes out to the right and then start to guide that right leg out to the side. Right? Moving into a shape that's comfortable, then energize your right leg. So press that heel out towards the ceiling or out towards the wall. Notice the supple tension in the body supporting you in this hamstring stretch. Okay, now let's ease it back towards the center, release the strap, then take a full body stretch. And as you take that full body stretch, place your hands in fists, pull your toes back towards your head, and energize the whole of your body. So isometrically contracting all your muscles, right? Earth rules the muscles. Okay, soften your arms, bring them down by your sides, pull your heels back in. And then let's start at the top. Interlace your hands behind your head. Okay, let's connect to the center. Breathe in. Explore your exhale, head lift. Right? Just imagine or think about just hovering barely over the earth. And then once again, notice if the legs are trying to hold the support. Right? Notice if it's the neck. Right? See if you can soften outside of the center. Okay, ease it down to the earth and then draw that left knee in. Right, give a little care to the back and to the hip joint, roll it around. Paying attention to the sensation in the body is a present moment experience. Right? And the more that you can get the brain in the present moment, it's not distracted with the past and rumination or distracted with worry of the future. And just remembering that Earth, when out of balance, has a tendency to worry. Right? So use the body sensation. Right? Allow it to be comfortable. Okay, ease into center. Let's give the hamstring some care. Maybe strap on the bottom of the left foot, lengthening out. Okay, find your just right place with your leg and then add that energy to it. Press the heel towards the ceiling. Right? As you press that foot and heel towards the ceiling, notice where it drops into your body. Right? Maybe you notice your leg, maybe you notice your abdomen. Right? Become conscious of how you're breathing. Okay, let's give those hamstrings a little extra care. Drop the right knee out to the side, maybe 1 o'clock, maybe 2 o'clock. Turn your toes over to the left so it rotates that femur bone. And then slowly start to drop that left leg out to the side. Okay, find the most balanced place you can be where you're not overextending, because Earth has a tendency to overextend its energy. And then energize that left leg by pressing the heel towards the wall or towards the ceiling. Become aware of how you're breathing. Use your breathing to soothe your nervous system. Okay, draw that leg back up into the center. Release the strap. And then the knees sway from side to side, just a little tiny twist. And see if you can notice the sensation of the belly engaging as the knees drop from one side to the other. Using a gentle movement to strengthen through your center. Okay, now let's pause. Let's change the shape into child's pose to take a little bit of a rest. And as you ease the body close to the earth, just notice the sensation. Just giving Earth a little time to create some energy resource. Right, so Earth has a tendency to give it all away. Right, so just allow Earth to get a little quiet. Okay, now let's ease into that all fours position. And we're going to create a little bit of strength through the back and the core for stability. So begin lightly pressing through your palms, energizing your arms. Draw your belly up and in as you lift your right knee up off of the mat. And then go slowly. Start to press the right foot out towards the wall behind you. And then once you feel your leg lengthen out, firm your leg, firm your arms. Okay, notice how you're breathing. Okay, once again, draw that knee back in and then create your rest. Maybe child's pose again, maybe downward facing dog. Okay, choose your rest. Allow the body to still, allow your mind to still. Become conscious of your breathing. Let's join together on all fours. And then let's stabilize the center. Press through your palms, draw your abdomen up and in. Lift that left knee. Okay, give yourself a moment. It is a balance exercise. And then begin energizing that left leg by pressing it out slowly. Right? Pressing or stomping on the wall behind you. Firm your leg. Firm your arms. Become conscious of your breathing. Release your knee down. And then take a couple of rounds of a very relaxed cat and cow. And just feel your spine move in both directions. Then let's release this movement and draw the body up into standing. Okay, then once you arrive in standing, let's interlace the fingers and then reach your arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Right, trying to create a little bit of space in the whole of the body. Linger here for a moment and energize your leg muscles, your torso, and your arms. Just feel all of that active energy, firming your muscles. And now soften all of your muscles. So soften your legs, soften your arms, let your arms come down. And then repeat that one more time. Linger a little bit. And then feel the tension let go. And then once you return into this standing, steady Tadasana, put a little tiny bend in your knees and come to a tall chair. Right, so sink down towards the earth just a little bit, where it's not a lot of effort, but you can feel your legs supporting you. Right, so think, anytime we can drop down into the legs, it helps embody us, pulls the mind out of that distracted place into the present moment. Okay, now let's combine those two movements. Interlace your hands, stretch your body all the way up, lengthen. Linger there for a moment, squeeze on all your arms, your legs, your belly, your back. And then release your arms down, release your shoulders, drop into that little tiny chair. Okay, one more. Feel your body. And then once you arrive in this little tiny chair, we're going to use this place to explore the balance of tree. So shift your weight over into the left leg, shift over to the left leg, and start to turn that right knee out to the side. Okay, so standing leg is a little bit bent, and then maybe you hover your toes over the earth. Right, shoulders are relaxed, face is relaxed. Right, not needing the balance to be grand, and just allowing yourself close to the earth, steady. Okay, now let's release out of that balance one more time. Interlace your hands, stretch it up, linger, feel the space in your body. Okay, let it all go as your hands come down, drop into that little tiny chair. Then move slowly, weight over to the right. Open the hip on the left, and then lift when you're ready. Feeling your balance. Okay, now let's release out of the balance, come back into standing. Now we're going to add on to the series. Interlace your hands, reach up to the ceiling, take a breath in. Little side bend over to the right. Breathe as you move and side bend over to the left. Come back through the center. And then step wide with the legs. Drop your elbows down into a low goddess. And if you like that chin mudra, you can use that chin mudra here. So this one is, it's called Dancing Rainbows, but it's more of that side bending. So shift your weight over into the left leg and then lift the toe up on the right as you bend a little bit. So here's that side bend. Come back through the center and then shift your weight over to the right, lift the toe on the left, side bend. Come back through the center. Here's the last of it. Reach your arms out to the sides, lengthen out through your legs, and then energize your arms and legs here. Okay, feel the whole space of your body bright and energized. Okay, release that tension, step together, and then let's begin again. Interlace, reach up, breathe in. Little bend to the right. Right, keep breathing, a little bend to the left. Come back through the center. Step wide, drop into goddess. Here's the little side bend. Shift to the left, lift the toe, bend. Back through the center. Shift your weight, bend. Back through the center. Energize, bright like the sun. Squeeze on your arms, squeeze on your legs. Feel yourself release all of that tension. Come back into standing mountain. Okay, let's repeat it. Up. Little side bending. Drop into goddess. Side bend. Side bend. Okay, brighten and energize your body. Feel all the muscles. Okay, now this time as we release, soften your knees and soften your arms as if you were holding a large beach ball. Relax your shoulders. And then let's use that beach ball breathing to connect to our center, to that strong core. Inhale, open it up. Slow exhale, hug that beach ball, bend in. Feel your energy lighten and expand. And then feel everything come into center, stabilize. All right, one more. And the next time you expand out, turn the toes over on the right and drop into a warrior two stance. So center holds, or earth holds, in a steady way. So let's find a relaxed and steady by sliding the hands behind the pelvis so you're softening your shoulders. Right, let your bones hold you. And then let's add a little bone care here. Isometrically contract your leg muscles. Right, using that action of contraction of the muscles to make the bones strong. Okay, release this confident warrior. Come back to the center. Heel toe in a little bit. Drop into that beach ball breathing. Okay, earth holds the center. 3 rounds. Energize out. And then let's set up for warrior 2, other side. Okay, earth will match where you're at. So if you want to stay in this energized place with your arms reaching to the side walls, or maybe you want to join me in that relaxed steady where the arms sweep behind the pelvis. So wherever you've chosen, upper body, sink into your legs. Feel your legs holding the shape. Isometrically contract your muscles of your legs, supporting the bones. And then once again, come back to consciously breathing. Okay, now let's ease off of the shape. Heel toe your feet back into center. Stretch your arms up. Okay, so feel the front body stretch. And now let's begin moving through a chair shape. So bend your knees, drop your hands down onto your thigh bones. And then let's pause here, lengthening the low back. Right, allow your muscles to relax, your bones are holding you. Okay, so maybe this is your forward fold shape for today. Maybe you drop your elbows down onto your thigh bones, or maybe you slide your elbows in front of your knees and find that forward fold classic shape. Just remembering to care for yourself. It's not about the shapes, it's about the sensation in the body, caring for the body, releasing tension appropriately. Okay, be receptive to your breath. Feel yourself breathe. Okay, now let's release all the way down to the floor. All right, so bring your body back down to the mat, close to the earth. And then once you've come down onto the mat, just pause there for a moment. All right, so option to use the folded blanket underneath the back of the pelvis or that 2-inch block, whatever you have handy. All right, we're going to slide the support at the back of the pelvis. All right, so giving the hips a little support. Okay, once you have that support, slide the right leg out. Okay, be curious. It's okay if the leg doesn't straighten all the way out. Just find the most comfortable place that you can as you slide your leg out. And then take a few breaths. Right, lengthening out your hip flexors. Okay, ease that leg back in. And then the same thing, the other side. Just go slow, be curious. Right, give yourself some time and space. Right, be curious of what the sensation is. Right, so not becoming attached to what the sensation is, just becoming aware of what the sensation is. And maybe the sensation is strong, maybe it's not. Again, Earth is receptive to whatever is here now. Right, just notice where that tension is still hanging on. Okay, slide that heel back in. Let your palms be palms up by your side. And then let's give a little care to the joints in the hands. As you take an inhale, stretch your hands like starfish. Breathe in. And when you're ready to exhale, make your hands into light fists. We lightly squeeze. Squeeze at the belly. And do that a couple of times. Okay, release all of that tension, come off of the block, and then we're going to make our way into that last posture of class, taking any support, blankets, bolsters. Okay, let's return to that tension and release. Pull your right toe back towards your head, squeeze on that right leg and that right buttock, and create a little tension and release. Shift your focus over to your left leg. Pull your left toes back towards your head. Squeeze on that left buttock. Squeeze and release. Let the legs relax. Squeeze on your right hand, right arm. Lift your elbow just a little bit or your arm just a little bit. Squeeze. Soften and release. Left side, create a little tension in the left hand, left arm. Lift, squeeze, release. Let your arms and shoulders melt into the earth. Let your legs melt into the earth. Squeeze all the muscles of your face. Squeeze your eyes, squeeze your mouth. Squeeze and release. Swallow. Allow your jaw to soften and your tongue to float away from the roof of your mouth. And think of your body as a steady mountain, part of the landscape. Allow your thoughts, feelings, and sensation to be the clouds, and simply observe the coming and going of those clouds. Rest. Take a deeper breath in your body. Maybe roll your wrists and your ankles. And then if you'd like to join me with closing class with 3 chants of Om, come to a tall seat. Okay, remembering that nurturing quality of earth, as you formulate an intention to take with you, maybe allow your intention to nurture you. Prepare. Mhm. Om. Mhm. The light in me sees the light in you. Namaste.